Hey there, YouTube. This is 101 Bronson back here again. Let me put this camera down. This is 101 Bronson back here again, and I've been like away for a year. I've just been off doing some other things. And I know last I uploaded my DVD collection videos, and I'm not done with that, because I have a lot more, and I mean a lot more. But I just didn't find time to continue with uploading videos to YouTube. Life sort of got in the way and work and everything. I work security. I'm pulling a lot of night shifts, double shifts even. Uh, there's just not really a lot of time for me to make videos, and but I'm gonna make an effort. Because I do like making videos, especially regarding these topics, movies. I'm like one of the biggest movie buffs. You're gonna ever come across. I mean, I just love sharing my enthusiasm. And it's, by the way, it's really hot out there today, and it's morning. It's like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm already sweating, so forgive me because I don't function that well in heat, you know. But I'm gonna make an effort. um, anyway, like I was saying, I just love sharing my enthusiasm for movies, my passion for movies. I just love sharing that with people. I like to find a community of people just like me, and I hope that's like the community I'm like reaching out to. I'm just I like sharing this passion for my love for movies, for cinema. I would just really love to share that with people. That's why I do this. So I thought, I gotta get back to YouTube. I like to speak out, to some kind of format, you know. So I thought of this idea. I thought it was a pretty good idea. I'm definitely gonna do the other parts of all the DVDs I own. I'm gonna get around to that because there's like Al Pacino movies I haven't shown you. On topic of today, Robert De Niro movies I haven't shown you. Yes, I did Clint Eastwood. I have Chuck Norris. I have Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal. A lot of action. I'm like an action guy. Despite having said that, I really appreciate a good drama. I appreciate pretty much all genres. I'm even a sucker for like a good romantic comedy. Um, having said that, the idea that I got is like to do a pick out of all my like 500 plus DVDs slash Blu-rays that I own, like pick out like my 50 best of them, the 50 that I would like recommend to anybody who just wants to see some good movies. If I just took all my 500 plus movies and like condensed it into like a little package of 50 gems, 50 gems that you just have to see like before you die. That's what I want to do. So that like in no particular order, just take out a movie at random. Ones that I really think these are, you just have to watch these movies. So having said that, in no particular order, I just whipped out a movie that I rewatched this movie. I guess it was about a week ago. It's Raging Bull with Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci, directed by Martin Scorsese. I just, like I said, I saw this again recently, and I was like, I cried at the end, and it wasn't because like the ending was emotional. It was just the work, It was the entire piece, you know, this movie, here. This is what filmmaking's all about, You know. This is this is a masterpiece, and I don't like the term that. It's so hot I can't talk. I don't like to throw that term around a lot, masterpiece. Because I think it kind of gets overused. But if there's like, let me just put 5 movies right now that I would consider like fully fledged masterpieces. It would be Raging Bull, Once Upon a Time in the West by Sergio Leone, Scarface. I know that's like kind of a controversial choice, I think, but Scarface is my favorite movie of all time. You know, I just have to include it in that list. I guess on the list would also be The Godfather, obviously. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly definitely would be there. And I guess I would go for Rocky, which is kind of related to this movie. Not really, but it's about boxing. At least that's what like the audience thought way back then. Oh, it's not a boxing movie, but with Rob De Niro, it's probably gonna be Rocky, but then with De Niro. No, it's not. It's really different. And I really hate it when people like compare Raging Bull to Rocky because it's like comparing um, oranges to apples, or like it would be for me comparing Al Pacino to Robert De Niro, because they're just they're different, they're different. Um, Rocky is about an underdog who you root for, and Raging Bull, with all the respect to Jake LaMotta, the guy's a fucking asshole. You know, he beats his wife, he beats his brother, beats anyone who he suspects is fucking around with his wife, even though it's kind of implied in the movie that she never fucked around with anybody besides Jake LaMotta himself. So the guy's just really fucking paranoid. And if you thought Tony Montana was paranoid in Scarface, believe me, he's got nothing on Jake LaMotta. I mean, fuck me. That scene where he just throws a beating on Joe Pesci, who plays his brother. Damn. You fuck my wife. You fuck my wife. I really feel sorry for Joe Pesci in this movie. He kind of always gets the shit out of the stick, He always tries to do the good thing, tries to help his brother out. And he gets slapped around, He gets smacked around, I'm kind of trying to do my DeNiro impression in this movie. Anyway, the movie is just so beautifully shot. It's in black and white. And you could probably tell from the cover. The whole movie is in black and white because it's set in the 1940s, right up until the 1960s. And the movie opens up with this this opening sequence of De Niro just dancing around, shadow boxing in the ring, like a smoky ring. You can see like some journalists or press people, I guess, whatever you want to call it. You can see them, those light bulbs of the cameras flashing, all set to like this beautiful Italian music by, I'm not like 100% Italian. There's some like Italian blood in me, so I might not pronounce his Italian name right, but the music is by Pietro Mascagni, I guess, something like that. But it's very beautiful music. It's the music was also used at the end of Godfather Part 3. I heard it there first. So I was like, hey, they used the music from the Godfather Part 3 for this movie. That's interesting. But Raging Bull did first, actually. So and a beautiful opening sequence. Then we were like in the 1960s. We see like a fat Jake LaMotta because De Niro actually put on like 60 pounds or something for this movie. Well, 60 might be a little stretching it. He put on some pounds, just let's just put it that way. He put on a lot of pounds for this movie. It's like in the 1960s, he's washed up now. His rock bottom, he's really down on his luck, And then we cut to a fight of him in the 1930s. And it's like we do a close up. It's like this, like on his face when he's in the 1960s, like this. Then we do a cut when he's getting smacked around in the ring in the 1930s. It's a really smooth, nice transition. I think it's really cool. Um, and he's getting, he has a fight. I believe he doesn't win it. Some parts are blurry and some parts I can just quote the entire movie. Uh, but on the outcome of the fight, the first fight that we see, I'm not really not sure. I think he loses it. And his brother's like, ah, come on, don't get out of the fucking ring. He lost, get in, let him get out of the fucking ring. That's my Joe Pesci impression. I know it's not good. But then he goes home, and it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie where it's like having a fight with his wife over a piece of steak. And he's like, don't overcook it, you overcook it, it's not good. What are you doing? Bring it over here. I just said don't overcook it, you're overcooking it. Come on, bring it over here. You want your steak? Yeah, bring it over here. It's like a piece of charcoal. Bring it over here. I just love that. You want your steak? Yeah, I want my steak. You buy me about a steak? You fucking buy me about a steak? Then his neighbor and Joe Pesci comes in, and everything's fine. I got no choice. I got no choice. And this neighbor gets into the fight. Hey, you animals! Who's an animal? Your mother's an animal, you son of a bitch! You're gonna find your dog dead in the hallway tomorrow, you fuck! Fucking love that scene. Hey, Larry, fuck you! Anyway, he has a fight with his wife. Not Cathy Moriarty, by the way. I guess it's like his first wife or something. Anyway, then he like hangs around with Joe Pesci at the gym and things like that. And he meets Vicky, I don't know her real name. I don't know her maiden name, but she becomes Vicky Lamotta, she becomes his wife. And, I just recently found this out. I always found it weird that, DeNiro is pretty much, motherfucker looks like he's in his 30s, 40s, And then Joe Pesci says, she's 15 years old, Jack, I'm like, she's 15? And DeNiro is like... But then I've actually found out that DeNiro was supposed to be playing the 29-year-old version of Jake LaMotta. But 29 is still fucking too old for a 15-year-old girl. I'm sorry, I don't care if that was like the real life thing. But that's kind of like a pedophile, DeNiro is supposed to be a 29-year-old Jake LaMotta. Even if he's 29 years old, 15 is just way too young for you, dude. I know it's not PC for me to smoke, but I'm not PC, so I don't give a shit. I have no filter. Whatever comes out of my mouth, I don't give a shit. Anyway, then he meets his wife, who's, let's put that age thing aside. She's very beautiful. I know that the actress was like 18 or 19, Cathy Moriarty. I know that the actress was like 18, 19, so I can actually say that she was pretty attractive in the movie, I could see myself falling for her too, If she was playing 15-year-old or not, She was 18 and the actress, so, it's okay. He meets her, he goes on like this first date with her, which is pretty sweet actually, they're in the car and he's like, come closer, you're sitting so far, and he's driving and he puts her arm around the girl, Thought that was actually pretty sweet. Shit happens, more fights. I guess there's, pretty much the mafia controls boxing, It's pretty much always been that way. There's always been betting on sports. As long as there's sports, it's going to be betting, And like the mafia always want a piece of action out of that, So the mafia was pretty much in control of fighting back then, I guess. So, all those things happen. I don't think he's married to Vicky at this point yet. I think that comes later in the montage of home videos that they show. Anyway, I believe there comes that point where they're like, yeah, we're gonna offer you a title shot, but you're gonna have to take a dive. And he's like, I don't go down for nobody. So he doesn't do that. Well, he actually agrees. But then it's like in the first round, the first couple of seconds, he just really taps the guy that he's fighting. And the guy's like, He's almost going down. You know, so can you blame the guy for not going down? I mean, this dude he's fighting is obviously a pussy. You know, he smacks him around in the head one time and he's like all over the place. That's actually what DeNiro says in the scene afterwards. Anyway, so that happens, and then Joe Pesci's like, you know, you're gonna get your shot, but you know, you have to lose a couple of pounds, you fat fuck. Stop eating. And then he has like this fight with his wife again. You know, he's a good-looking kid. Oh, what is good-looking? Well, you're an Atari? Everybody's an Atari over here. You know. I believe after that comes that montage. Or it comes after... No, I don't think it comes after his title fight. I believe the title fight really comes after that. I'm kind of like on a loss on the timeline of those events right now. You have to understand, even though I've seen this movie like 50 times, I've seen Scarface like 200 times, I've seen other movies even equally. I watch a lot of movies, you know, and this, I watched Raging Bull a week ago, but since then I've watched like maybe 20 more movies, you know, so, you know, but anyway, so that's why I'm kind of lost on the timeline. But then this montage happens, the only part in the movie that is in color, distorted colors, but in color nonetheless. These little home videos of Jake LaMotta, you know, like I guess 18mm camera, really scratched up footage, no sound, just the music playing over it. And you also see these black and white still images of fights that he has in the meantime. And then after the montage, he's gaining a little weight, but he's gonna get his title shot against, I'm gonna get this wrong I guess, but I believe it's going to be against Billy Fox. No, it wasn't against Billy Fox. It was against this French guy. I think Billy Fox was the one he was supposed to lose against. Again, I'm on a loss on that, but I believe it was this French champion that he fought for the title and he won. But anyway, there's this great long take during that title fight, which I really love. It starts like in the dressing room. He's like punching Joe Pesci in the ribs or in the stomach area. He's wearing this protective pad, you know. And he's like, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. And then you see him, you know, like that. Not exactly like that, but you know, that's the gist of the scene. Then he walks to the ring. You know, he makes his entrance to the ring, and it's all done in one shot. From that moment where he's punching Joe Pesci, he gets up. He puts the hoodie of his robe on, and he's like, and then we follow him all the way to the ring, and then we go up in the ring, and all in one shot. So beautiful, you know. Anyway, he wins the title. After his title match, he gains weight again. You know, and stop eating, you fat fuck. You know, if you need a little less fucking, a little more fucking, a little less eating, you wouldn't have no problem upstairs. You wouldn't take on. I don't remember the exact dialogue, but Joe Pesci's awesome in this movie. I might have said that already, but he's really awesome. Anyway, not long after that, he has a few more title fights. I also like that, you know, I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but that's just how my mind works. I remember like these things like as they come out, you know. I also like that part where he fights the kid DeNiro, you know. His wife said he was pretty, and you know DeNiro Lamotta thought you know that she was fantasizing about him and she liked him, so he does extra damage to the guy's face while fighting. And it's actually funny because there was a scene like in the Copa where he says to the mafia guy, you know, he's a pretty kid, you know, I don't know whether the fuck I'm a fighter, you know, but I'm, you know. And then he fucks up his face in the fight, and then those mafia guys are like, he ain't pretty no more. Well, Jake really fucked him up. I love that bit. But anyway, he has a few title defenses, I guess, you know. And then comes the big fight outside of the ring in the movie, where he is like fixing his TV. He's grown a bit of a gut. You know, his wife comes home, Joe Pesci kisses her in the mouth. Like I don't really agree with Jake LaMotta because he's like an asshole. But you do not kiss your sister-in-law in the mouth. You don't even kiss your mother in the mouth. They say this in the movie too. But like maybe a kiss on the cheek. I know there are Italians that are like, I'll kiss them all over the place. I'm even like a little percent Italian, like I mentioned. But I don't go around kissing my sister-in-law on the cheek. You just don't do it. So on that little point, I just kind of agree with Jake LaMotta. I just don't do that. I don't agree with the rest of everything that happens after that. Because you know he has this fight with Joe Pesci. He's like, "You fuck my wife? What? You fuck my wife? How could you ask me? I'm your brother. How could you ask me? Where you get your fucking balls big enough to ask me that? You ask me that? What the fuck's wrong with you? Just tell me, Joey. You fuck my wife? You fuck my wife? And then Joe's like, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out. You fat fuck. You're cracking up. Anyway, he leaves and he's still fucking paranoid about everything. So he goes up and confronts his wife. And it's like, you fuck my brother? You fucking... He smacks her around. He's like, yeah, I fucked everybody. Oh, she's like, I fucked everybody. I fucked everybody in the fucking street. What do you want me to say? I sucked his cock. Sucked his cock? Yeah, I sucked his cock and everybody in the fucking street. Then he's like, yeah. And his fucking cock was bigger than yours too. Love that little that was savage. And his cock was bigger than yours. Sorry, I had to make a little cut there. The video went down. Anyway, then Joe Pesci is sitting around the dinner table with his wife and his kid, and it's like to his kid, if I see you put your hands on the plate one more time, I'm gonna stab you with the fork. I told you, keep your hands on the plate. Then Jake LaMotta walks in, like, you fuck my wife, boom, 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 boom. You fuck my wife, you fuck my wife. He's like going all out on Joe Pesci. He's not pulling any punches whatsoever. DeNiro is, as the actor, because you can see some of the punches he's thrown are not really landing. But hey, it's a movie. I'm not expecting DeNiro to really beat up Joe Pesci. And I'm not going for ultra realism. So you can see some of the punches are miss, but who cares? Anyway, that happens. His brother obviously doesn't want anything to do with him after that. His wife comes back to him and forgives him. One could argue that was kind of stupid, but and then he has like another title defense, or let's just call it a title fight. Don't care who the champion is. It's a title fight against this Frenchman, and he's like losing the fight, and in the last, I guess, 20 seconds, he turns the fight around and it's like boom, 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 and he knocks the guy out. And then after that, you got the scene where his wife tells him, "You gotta call your brother. Say you're sorry. It's happened. Your brothers. Come on. Talk to him." Then he calls Joe Pesci up, and Joe Pesci's like, but De Niro stays quiet. For some reason he doesn't want to talk. I never really got why. Maybe it was just too awkward for him. Or something. But De Niro doesn't say a word to Joe Pesci on the phone. But Joe Pesci's like thinking he's like a stalker or something, or he thinks he's like his mob buddy, Salvi. He's like, Salvi, I know it's you. I can hear you breathing. Are you listening? Your mother sucks fucking big fucking elephant dicks. Got it? Only Joe Pesci can say lines like that. That was great. Anyway. So they don't really iron out their issues or anything. They just hang up. And then it was like, didn't pick up. Then he has the last fight against Sugar Ray Robinson. The Valentine's Day Massacre, it's been dubbed, the real life fight of it. And you see Joe Pesci watching it at home, on his TV. DeNiro, or LaMotta, I should say, just gets clobbered in this fight. There's like, you can see that moment where he's like, I don't give a shit anymore, beat me up, and he gets, that for me is like the best scene in the movie, I guess. I had to make a little cut again, but that for me is like one of the best scenes, if not the best scene in the movie. He just gets The cinematography of it, the whole purpose of the scene, of the fight. It's the last fight that you see in the movie too. Inside the ring. Outside the ring, I believe there's like a little bit more. But anyway, it's the last boxing fight that you see in the movie, and he gets just clobbered to a pulp. But he never went down. That's I love that about the scene too. He takes all the punches, he takes all his punishment, and at the end he's still standing and he walks over to Sugar Ray. He's like, "You never got me down, Ray. Never got me down. Never got me down, Ray." you know. I mean, those punches should have at least killed him. You know. It's like in Rocky 4. It's like Ivan Drago type punches that he gets. Uh, Anyway, after that, boxing's over for him. We'll move to the 1950s where he's like fat again. Not 1950s, I believe it's the 60s. Move to the 60s where he's fat again, or maybe it's like mid 50s. I'm really not sure what time frame in those scenes, but he's fat now. He gained a lot of weight. He let himself go. He's still married to Vicky at this point, and he's gonna own a nightclub. He's gonna call Jake Lamotta's, and he owns a night. He does this like pretty halfway decent like comedy routines at his joint, at his bar, at his nightclub. Uh, After that, there's some scenes in nightclubs, scenes where he tells stories about fights and something like that, I guess. Then he gets arrested because you know, there were some underage girls in his nightclub, and he just let them drink. He didn't, he was like, "You're 21." He's like, "Yeah. Can you prove to you 20? Can you prove that you're 21?" And then like they have to kiss him. I was like, for a guy who like suspects his wife of fucking around, you do kind of like some weird things there yourself, there, buddy. But anyway, I pretty much made the point that he's a fucking asshole. This Jake LaMotta guy. May you rest in peace. I'm sure he's done a lot of good stuff too, but not what's portrayed in this movie. And like I said, I don't agree with him on much, but there's this point again. He like lets underage girls drink in his bar. Never mind that they prove to him that they're 21. Anyway, they arrest him for it, and they show LaMotta this picture of the girl when she's like not without her makeup and anything, and when she's I guess it's like a school picture, and then you have a picture of like when she goes out, and you see the difference. I mean, this chick does not look 15. They say that she's 15 to LaMotta. Dude, even if they didn't have to prove that they're 21, I would still not say that they're underaged. I mean, these chicks look mature. That's all I'm saying. So, like I said, I don't agree with him on much, but I agree on him. Anyway, they arrest him. Um, he goes to get his title belt from Vicky. Oh yeah, Vicky divorced him at this point, by the way. Vicky's like, "I had enough with you, you fat fuck." Finally. Anyway, they're separate. They're divorced, and he goes over to Vicky's house and says, "I need the title for my bail. I'm gonna pawn the title belt for my bail." And or no, maybe not the bail, but to get the case suspended or something. So he takes all the jewelry out of the belt. It goes to the pawn shop. It's like, "Oh, but those are the jewelries from the belt." "Yeah, but you should have brought me the belt. The belt itself was worth much more than the gems inside." Anyway, so he doesn't get the price that he wants, and he's thrown in jail. And he's like, and the guard's like, "Go in there, you fucking animal." And it's like, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck your mother." And he's like in his dog jail cell. And I swear to God, this is some piece of acting by DeNiro. He's in this darkened jail cell. And he's like, "They call me an animal, I'm not an animal." And he walks over to this wall, this fucking concrete wall. I don't know if the wall was actually concrete, because what happens is he's like, "Why, why, 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 why?" He headbutts and punches the wall, pretty hard. And I don't know if that was really a concrete wall, if they used something for DeNiro to punch on. I mean, it's a darkened jail cell. I mean, maybe the parts where he hits, they put something on it or something. I don't know. But where he headbutts, you can see that that is like the wall. So I don't know if that was really just like method acting, going crazy on a wall, or that they used some movie trick for it. The punches definitely did not seem like they weren't landing. And he's like, why? They call me an animal. I'm not an animal. I'm not that bad. And although I really fucking hate the guy, at that point I did kind of feel sorry for him. I say kind of. Anyway, so he does his jail time, and he's back in New York, and he does comedy routines in this pretty shady, very low class bars, I guess. Then he runs into his brother again, who he has not seen until this point, for maybe I guess like 5, 6, 7, 8 years, something like that. I don't know. Joe Pesci has this mustache on, and he's following Joe Pesci around. He's like, Joey, please forgive me, please, you're my brother, you're my brother. And, he really is desperate. He seeks out this forgiveness from his brother, and he's like, please, Joey, please kiss me, kiss me. Oh, you want my wife? You want my wife and kids to see this? Come on, what's it mean? You're crazy. Anyway, Pesci forgives him in the end, and then the final scene is like where he recites the Marlon Brando monologue from On the Waterfront, and that's pretty fitting for the ending, I think. He's I don't remember the entire dialogue, but I'm gonna try to do it. It's like, some people aren't that lucky, like the one that Marlon Brando played On the Waterfront. Remember that scene in the back of his car with his brother Charlie, this small town racket guy, and went something like this. It wasn't him, Charlie, it was you. Remember that night when you came to the garden in my dressing room and said, "Get this in your night? We're going for the price on Wilson." Remember that? This in your night? My night. I could have taken Wilson apart that night. But he gets a title shot, and what do I get instead? A one-way ticket to Palookaville. I was never no good after that, Charlie. And it was you. You was my brother. You should have looked out for me just a little bit. You should have taken care of me just a little bit, instead of taking the short end money and instead of taking and died on short end money, something like that. You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody. Instead of a bum, which is what I am, let's face it. And it was you, Charlie. You was my brother. And then we have a cameo from Martin Scorsese. He's like, "Champ, they're ready for you out there. A lot of people out there. Yeah, it's crowded." It's like, alright, go get him, champ. You're the best, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. And then he does that while he walks out of frame, and boom, that's the end of the movie. So that's Raging Bull for you, pretty much in a nutshell, and really comprised review of the movie. So now we come to the final verdict of it. I mean, I'm doing this video called I'm doing these reviews called 50 movies you have to see before you die. There's a reason why this movie is on this list. Why I'm doing this movie first. Well, there's not a reason why I'm doing it first. Maybe because it's like one really fresh on my memory. Maybe that's why I picked it for the first review now. But it's just there because it is a masterpiece, like I mentioned before. The cinematography, although it is in black and white, it's really astonishing and beautiful at times. Really some nice, good looking shots in there. The directing by Scorsese. I mean, it's Martin fucking Scorsese. Has he ever done a bad movie? Well, I wasn't a big fan of maybe like Hugo, but that's not a topic. But anyway, it's a Scorsese movie. The editing by Thelma Schoonmaker, it's top notch. It's some of the best editing I've ever seen in a movie. I think she won an Oscar for the editing. I could be really wrong on that. Yes, wait. Thelma Schoonmaker. Yes, she won the Oscar for Best Editing on Raging Bull. Deservedly so. There's another Oscar Raging Bull won, and that's a topic I'm going to get to right now, the acting. Robert De Niro. I can't believe he's in movies like Bad Grandpa right now. Because this movie, Raging Bull, it got him the Oscar for Best Actor. He's previously won for The Godfather Part 2, which I like The Godfather Part 2, but I never really saw that movie as the big masterpiece that everybody sees. I much prefer the first one, to be perfectly honest. Anyway, I did think he deserved for Godfather 2 because the entire movie just spoke Italian, or Sicilian even. He played a very good role in that movie, but Raging Bull, man, what a performance. You hate this fucking guy in the movie, believe me. If you're gonna see this movie the first time, you're gonna hate Jake LaMotta. You're supposed to hate him. But the way De Niro plays him is top notch. Like I said, that scene in the jail cell at the end, that scene alone, damn. And that's just the end of the movie. Before that, all the other shit happens that I just told you about. Anyway, the acting is top notch here. From everybody. And even the small minor characters like Tommy and Salvi, the mobsters. You know, Salvi, of course, the great friend Vincent, may rest in peace, like I mentioned before. This is the first Scorsese movie he was in. He was also in Goodfellas and Casino. Ironically, he gets beat up by Joe Pesci in this movie and in Goodfellas. And in Casino, he gets his revenge on Joe Pesci and beats Joe Pesci up. So that was interesting. Anyway, the movie won 2 Oscars: Best Editing, deservedly, and Best Actor for De Niro, deservedly. I don't think there's ever been an Oscar, for me personally, that has been given to an actor who has deserved it as much as De Niro did for this movie. I mean, Al Pacino got the Oscar for Sound of a Woman. I really think he deserved that. But on the other hand, I'm like, Pacino should have won for Scarface, and he never even got nominated for Scarface. Pacino should have won for The Godfather Part 1. He should have won. If there's any Pacino performance that I think he should have won the Oscar for, it's gotta be Serpico. You know, I think Serpico is like his Raging Bull. That's like where he really deserves to win the Oscar. On the other note, for me, it might also be Scarface, because Scarface is just my favorite movie of all time. And that performance is mesmerizing from Pacino and Scarface. But I'm going off topic here. We're going to talk about Pacino, don't worry. Scarface is going to be on my 50 movies to watch list, definitely. You know, along with The Godfather. And there's probably going to be some more Pacino movies on this than De Niro. But there might also be some more Scorsese movies on this list. Like I said, I'm just going through all my movies. And I'm just really going to pick out top of the line. I'm going to pick out the best. You know. So, to cap off this review, to end it, I could ramble on about this movie for hours. And I could tell you every little minor detail about this movie. But I just think that you really have to experience it yourself. It's probably going to be like this way for every movie that I'm going to review. Maybe with Scarface in particular, I'm going to be even more all over the place because that is my favorite movie. But with that movie, I do remember all the timeline events in the movie. I can literally quote, I've done this with my friends. They were like impressed. I can literally quote Scarface from beginning to end. And all the lines are correct and all the events that happen are correct. I know the entire structure of Scarface word for word. So with that movie review, maybe you're gonna get a more detailed review. But I think for my first review, this is really my first movie review. I think I did pretty well. You know, I pretty much covered all the basic plot elements. Covered pretty much every scene. I mean, I might have skipped over a scene or two, but yeah, I'm actually like remembering scenes I skipped over right now, but I'm not gonna get into that. Otherwise, this review is gonna be much more longer. I think we're already at like 35 minutes or something. Um, but yeah, Raging Bull, you have to see it. You know, um, it really is that good. Uh, Even if you, I was like in the beginning, like, okay, I want to watch this movie. I want to get into it. But why is it black and white? You know, I'm used to Technicolor. I'm used to just color. I want my movies to be in color. You know, black and white. What am I watching? A movie from the 30s or something? You know. But you'll get over that if you're not like big on black and white period movies. You're gonna get over that. You know, because this movie, the art, the artistry of this movie, is just like I said. When I watched the movie again last time, at the end I cried. Not because of the ending, but because of the art. Because the work, you know, the work that went into the movie. Like I said, DeNiro went from top shape boxing form to, fat Jake LaMotta. That's, and that's pretty much where I'm gonna have to wrap it up. I'm just gonna say one more thing. You have to just watch this movie. Uh, I mean, if you're a fan of DeNiro movies, if you're a fan of Scorsese, even if you're like, like I said, I hate the Rocky Raging Bull comparison, but if you're like into sports movies, if you like Rocky, you might like this. It's the total opposite of Rocky, but just the boxing, I mean, boxing is boxing. So, both movies have boxing, and that's like the only similar thing. So, but if you like Rocky, you might like it. If you, let me just say, if you like to watch a good movie with action in the form of the fight scenes and gangster shit outside of it, I mean, Raging Bull has a lot of gangster elements in the movie, even though it's a boxing biography movie. So, that's my final. Oh yeah, I'm gonna give a score on this movie. I'm gonna score the movies. Let's see, I'm gonna have to think about this. Actually, I don't. A 10 out of a 10. Isn't it obvious? I love this movie. Pretty much, I think all these 50 movies that I'm gonna do is gonna get 10 out of a 10 rating. For me, they're perfect. These movies I'm gonna do. And you might not agree with that, but that's the fun of it. We're not gonna have the same opinions about everything. But that's where I'm gonna leave it. 10 out of a 10 movie. I'm gonna recommend it. Watch it. Watch it twice. Watch it 3 times. It's that good. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna see you later. Have a good one.